Why did Gwen betray the full truth behind Gwen's revenge and Xander's tragic ending in the twisted, emotional world of Days of Our Lives? Love and revenge are two sides of the same coin. This July, fans will witness one of the most heartbreaking betrayals in Salem's recent history. Gwen Rizek, once deeply in love with Xander Kyriakis, returns not to make amends, but to destroy the man who broke her heart. And the most shocking part? She's not acting alone. The mastermind behind the manipulation is none other than EJ DiMera, the calculating power player who never reveals his full hand. Gwen, from heartbreak to revenge. Gwen once loved Xander Kyriakis with everything she had. She accepted his flaws, believed in his redemption, and dreamed of building something real with him. But in the end, Xander didn't choose her. When the opportunity came, he turned back to Sarah Horton, the woman who always stood between them. To Gwen, this wasn't just rejection. It was humiliation. She wasn't just left behind, she was dismissed, forgotten, and replaced. She left Salem quietly but with a heart burning from betrayal and a deep desire to one day make Xander feel what she had felt. EJ DiMera, the puppet master behind the pain. Enter EJ DiMera, ruthless, brilliant, and always one step ahead. He suspects that Xander knows something that could threaten his hidden agenda. But instead of confronting him directly, EJ finds a more sinister way. He uses Gwen's pain to turn her into the perfect weapon. EJ offers Gwen a proposition. Help him bring down Xander from the inside, and in return, she gets closure and revenge. First, Gwen hesitates, but the memories of crying alone, of watching Xander comfort Sarah, of being treated like a backup plan, they all come flooding back. In the end, she says yes, and with that, the trap is set. Xander, blindsided by the woman he once trusted. When Gwen returns to Salem, Xander is caught off guard. Though wary, he's still vulnerable to her. He believes she may genuinely want to reconnect, to right past wrongs. What he doesn't know is that Gwen is recording their conversations, tracking his movements, and feeding information directly to EJ. Every gentle word, every longing glance, every embrace, all a part of the act. The perfect storm. Gabi's kiss and Sarah's revenge at the same time. Another piece of the puzzle falls into place. Tony DiMera, in a bold move to fight fire with fire, recruits Gabi Hernandez to stir trouble in the Kyriakis family. Gabi, no stranger to manipulation, plays her part flawlessly. She seduces Xander just enough, and then delivers a shocking kiss in front of Sarah and Brady Black. The moment explodes. Sarah, overwhelmed with jealousy and betrayal, kisses Brady in revenge, sending shockwaves through their fragile relationships. Shortly after, a physical fight erupts between Xander and Brady. The emotional chaos is total confusion, heartbreak, and broken trust everywhere. And at the center of it all? Xander. Manipulated. Betrayed. Used. Everything falls apart as the truth comes out. Xander is left utterly destroyed. Gwen was lying. Gabi was playing a game. Sarah turned away from him. And now, everyone thinks he's the problem. The man who had tried so hard to change, who sought love and redemption, is now isolated, shamed, and abandoned. He doesn't lash out. He doesn't seek revenge. Instead, he shuts down completely. Xander disappears from public life. He rejects phone calls, avoids everyone who tries to reach out. He becomes a ghost in his own home, cold, silent, broken. In one especially haunting moment, Xander is seen alone, sitting in a dark room, staring at an old photo of himself and Sarah. His eyes are empty. There are no tears, no anger, just numbness. Gwen's regret and Gabi's next game. Gwen, having completed her mission, leaves Salem again, but this time with a bitter aftertaste. She expected revenge to satisfy her, but instead she feels emptier than ever. Hurting the man she once loved doesn't heal her wounds. It only opens new ones. Meanwhile, Gabi sets her sights on Philip Kyriakis, but this time things are messy. She's no longer sure if she's faking her feelings or falling into her own trap. But for Xander, none of it matters anymore. The tragic ending. Xander, the man who lost everything by the end of July. Xander is not dead, but what's left of him can hardly be called alive. He is lost. His love, his dignity, his trust, and worst of all, himself, once a force of nature in Salem, feared and respected. Xander Kyriakis is now a hollow shell, a man quietly destroyed not by a bullet, but by betrayal. He is seen one last time walking alone by the Salem River, clutching the same photo of Sarah, his coat tattered, his eyes blank. No one notices him. No one calls his name. He is alive. But barely. Final thought, in Salem, love can save you or destroy you this July. The tragedy isn't who dies. It's who lives with the pain. Xander Kyriakis, the man who dared to believe in love again, has been broken by the very people he trusted most. And in a city like Salem, that may be the most heartbreaking fate of all. Next, can Sarah and Xander reunite as a couple? How Rachel might be the key to their future together in the complicated world of Days of Our Lives. Love rarely follows a straight path. It twists, turns, and often crashes before it has a chance to bloom again. Few relationships in Salem have endured as much heartbreak, betrayal, and emotional chaos as that of Sarah Horton and Xander Kyriakis. And yet, despite everything, fans continue to ask the same question: could Sarah and Xander ever become a couple again? While many believe the damage is irreparable, a surprising source of hope is emerging. Rachel Black, the young girl who might just be the unexpected bridge between Sarah and Xander's shattered hearts. A love story that broke itself. Sarah and Xander's history is as passionate as it is painful. At one point, they were deeply in love, so much so that Xander was willing to give up his schemes and violence to become the kind of man Sarah could build a future with. But their relationship was never easy. From baby swaps and secrets to cheating and manipulation, trust between them was repeatedly tested and ultimately destroyed. Sarah, a woman guided by principle and emotion, was devastated by Xander's lies. And Xander, desperate for love but unable to escape his darker impulses, often chose the wrong path at the worst possible moments. Their last breakup seemed final. Sarah moved on, at least outwardly. Xander spiraled into self-loathing and self-destruction. And Salem moved on. But love in this town has a strange way of resurfacing. Enter Rachel, the unlikely catalyst. Rachel Black may not be Sarah and Xander's child by blood, but her role in their lives is proving to be more significant than anyone expected. Sarah has always had a strong maternal instinct. She connects naturally with children, and Rachel is no exception. Despite the tangled web of family ties, Rachel being the daughter of Brady and Kristen, Sarah has formed a bond with her, offering the kind of emotional stability Rachel so badly needs. But what surprises everyone is how Rachel responds to Xander. She adores him. Whether it's his goofy charm, his protective nature, or the way he makes her laugh when no one else can, Rachel sees in Xander something pure and safe. And when Sarah sees how good Xander is with Rachel, how gentle, patient, and sincere he becomes around her, it begins to chip away at the walls she's spent so long building. Rachel, without knowing it, is reminding Sarah of the Xander she once loved. Not the schemer, not the liar, but the man who held their child, the man who cried for her, the man who would have done anything to build a family together. Can Xander truly change? The biggest obstacle to any future with Sarah is Xander himself. He's fallen so far, lied, hurt others, and allowed bitterness to consume him. But even now, when he's most broken, his moments with Rachel bring out something deeply human in him. Something vulnerable. And it's those moments that Sarah notices. In the past, Xander said all the right things but rarely followed through. Now he's quiet, tired, not trying to win Sarah back, not begging for forgiveness. He simply shows up for Rachel and by extension for Sarah with no hidden motives. It's not redemption through grand gestures. It's redemption through consistency. That, more than anything, is what Sarah needs to see. Why they might work. This time Sarah and Xander are both older, wearier, and more aware of their own flaws than ever before. The blind passion that once drove them apart may now be the very thing that teaches them how to love more carefully. With Rachel in the picture, there's a reason to rebuild a sense of family, even if it's not traditional. Rachel gives Sarah a glimpse into the kind of man Xander could be, not for show but for real. If Sarah can let go of the past, not forget it, but accept it, she might find that Xander has finally become the person she always hoped he'd be. And Xander, if he truly wants to become that man, will have to show Sarah, not tell her, that he's capable of love without destruction. The future, fragile, but possible. Will Sarah and Xander become a couple again? Nothing in Salem is ever certain. But if it happens, it won't be because of drama, manipulation, or fate. It will be because of a little girl named Rachel. Sometimes it's not grand declarations of love that change hearts. Sometimes it's the quiet laughter of a child, the way she reaches for a hand, or the smile she brings out of someone who forgot how to smile. Rachel might just be the glue that helps mend what was broken. Not just between Sarah and Xander, but within themselves. And that could be the beginning of a new chapter.
All new Days of Our Lives, only on Peacock.